This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by shiresociety.com. Alright, so I'm here at the University of New Hampshire, Manchester branch, with an attempt to interview Homeland Security official Frank Sufo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I guess assistant to Tom Ridge under the Bush administration. He helped create the early Department of Homeland Security. And I've just now discovered this organization, wacnh.org, which they put on quite a few interesting events like this that I hadn't known about before, but they've been around since 1954. It's about 20 minutes before the event is supposed to start. That's him arriving now. Hi, Mr. Cillufo.
Hi, Frank.
Dave Ridley with RidleyReport.com.
Good to meet you.
I want to bounce a couple questions off you as you go in.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. Do you have any concerns about the directions that Homeland Security has taken since you helped found it with the pat-downs of 3-year-olds and all?
Well, the Department of Homeland Security is much more than the Transportation Security Administration. Clearly, these are issues we need to be able to discuss, and the general public ought to be part of that discussion. But TSA was stood up before the Department of Homeland Security was.
I see. Did you have any role in creating it in its current state?
TSA?
Yeah.
No, I actually worked. I came to the White House after TSA was already stood up.
Have you done anything to speak out against some of the abuses alleged against TSA?
I've testified on transportation security issues. I look at it more from the threat perspective, but clearly those are questions that reporters and others should be asking.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Sure.
All right. See you in there.
Thanks. It's a gorgeous day.
So I believe that the local community television station has a microphone, and that is not connected to. This is Frank Sufo.
When I talked,
I'm Anna Berry, the Director of the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire, and on behalf of our board and staff, I'd like to welcome you all to the final part of our Global Tipping Point series. First, I'd like to remind you about our annual fundraiser next week, featuring someone you might know, one of the world's most influential peacemakers, Senator George Mitchell. It's taking place on Monday evening at 6 p.m. But let me urge you once again to support us as a member.
Join me in welcoming Frank Sufo.
Thank you, Professor Fresh, and thank you to the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire, to UNH Manchester. This is a homecoming of sorts, and thank you for the very overly kind introduction.
The old world is collapsing, and it's going to take its slave driver governments with it. But what will rise up in their place? In New Hampshire, the Shire Society has a plan, a thriving web forum, and a history of action.
He didn't take long to come up with a plan.
You can sign up right now at shiresociety.com.